Hi, in today's podcast, we have Dr. Shama Sharif, a doctor with Narayan Rudalaya, International Wing of Medical Tourism. She's from the Sharif family, who are known people from Bangalore in the real estate business. But Shama has been in the social service initiative since the last 10 years. Her project of the doctor's kitchen, when COVID struck and all doctor and staff was quarantined, she organized meals in hospitals, in Bowring Hospital, Rajiv Gandhi Hospital, ESR Rajaji Nagar, also Promise Hospital and Victoria, all in Bangalore. It is a baby of the United Khalsa Group. Beijing Bites, Richmond Town offered their kitchen. The owner reached out to Shama to join hands. Welcome, Shama, and tell me, when did this journey of philanthropy begin for you?
Hi, Mahua. Glad to be back over to you. Mahua, this all started during when the COVID struck. This has been going on since a couple of years, but it was on a very low profile. But when COVID struck, I just began the journey with my own money, and it picked up momentum. I was very active on Facebook, and people started noticing me and the work that I was into. They started connecting across to me. So somewhere it just began from there, where I started preparing meals, 50 meals per day from my kitchen. It went on to become 100 to 300, and finally it went on to hit literally 1,000 meals per day, which was I had in-housed a couple of kitchens too. So it has been a journey, Mahua, so far.
So when did you begin this about the 50 meals? I mean, what was that trigger that made you get into this whole thing of cooking meals? And, was that an incident that touched you? Because, in India, we're so insulated with hungry people all
Exactly.
around us that we kind of take this
Exactly.
completely for granted that it's okay. I mean, it's just like a stray dog that goes hungry, even another human being can go hungry, and it's all right with us. We waste food in restaurants, we waste our own party food, but we don't hesitate to think that there's somebody who doesn't get 2 square meals. So I'm extremely proud of what you're doing, Shama, and you are my
Thank you,
hero.
Mahua. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I just want to know, what was that trigger? What was that incident that triggered you?
When COVID started, the first thing that was affected were the daily wages. Then you came across the migrants. The migrants were they were coming in loads and numbers, being put up at palace grounds. And I used to see frequently where the meals was a criteria. They didn't have a meal per day to sustain themselves. They were trying really hard to be getting back to their places, which was being difficult. That is when even Ramzan was on the cards. And obviously, I had my zakat amount. So I thought, let me use it wisely. People are there without food on the roads. And every day, seeing so many couple of pictures on Facebook, on Twitter, I think that was the motivating factor where I started with 50 meals cooked by me. Then I looped in my home chef. Then things went on, and it just picked momentum.
You did it during Ramzan because, during Ramzan, I've seen a whole lot of people when after their fast, they go near the masjid and then they go out there and then do the, zakat, as you said. Coming from a conservative background, how is it this that you have such liberal views, towards the whole existence of life?
No, my family has such, they are too much like they balance both the religion as the real world. So all are highly educated. So they carry the religion on their hearts at the same time, all are quite liberated in their own households. So
Okay.
it was not that difficult for us because a couple of my family members are already into it. Like Mr. Ziaullah Sharif is a known personality across Bangalore since eons. So it's been in the family, but of late the present generation, everyone have been like most of them are abroad based. So it's just a couple of us who are residing in India, and so it was not actually easy. Neither was it difficult because I do things on my own stride. Maybe you can take it that I'm a black sheep of the house. My mom often she does say that you're more focused on the outside world than to be focusing on your own world. My own world just consists of my daughter, and that wasn't too much for me that I should be spending my 24/7 behind her. She's 18 years old now, big enough to be handling things. Everything is there on the stride. But your heart really goes out when you see people on the roads literally begging for food.
So when you say you're the black sheep of the family, what do you mean by that?
See, everyone are busy in their own world. As I said, most of them are abroad based. None of them crack their heads to the extent that I do. For me, it is like if I house $100 in my pocket. So it's taken for granted 60 is mine and 40 is for the outside world. And even if I have $100, even then I think of, let me make a difference. Because I feel that it's very easy to sit in the comforts of your zone, in the lap of your luxury, and just be focusing on yourself when some other person, thousands in numbers, are really struggling for their day-to-day meal. And my family doesn't crack their head up so much on these lines, to be very honest.
So obviously you have empathy inside you. That's the reason you are motivated to do all the kind of good work that you do, Shama.
My brother was mentally retarded. I've seen him. I've seen my mother's struggles with him. So I think that has come.
That has left an impression in your heart.
Yeah, it has. It has. To be very honest, I have gone through a lot of highs and lows. So at that moment, I didn't have anyone to turn to. So it's been a struggle where I have come all my way up till here, although I belong to a very known family of Bangalore. So I feel that if I can make a difference in someone's life, there was no one when I was on the roads. Let me be the changing factor. Why not?
शमा वी हैव टू अग्री कि जब तक हमारी ज़िंदगी में लोज होते हैं देयर इज़ सो मच दैट यू स्टार्ट थिंकिंग एंड यू गो इनवर्ड्स एंड आई थिंक लोज आर ऑलवेज सच हम लोग कहते हैं कि लो नहीं होनी चाहिए ज़िंदगी में बट देन लोज के साथ यू बिकम आई थिंक मच मोर सेंसिटिव टू थिंग्स अराउंड यू आई मीन ऑफकोर्स सम पीपल चूज टू बी बिटर सम पीपल चूज टू बी बेटर सो you and me are on the same page when we say that we want to be better as people and not take on the bitter experiences of our life and become more bitter as people. So when you so Shama, I completely kind of bond with you on that level as a another woman. But tell me, Shama, how was it for you to be a single woman, especially in the social sector? Did you ever have problems? And you mentioned that you were married and now you're a single mother, to a 18-year-old daughter. And was it this that you did not get support from your ex-husband?
No. My husband is still on. I mean,
Okay.
it's not on those lines. But of course, I lead my life on my terms. And it was difficult in the social circle. Yes, it was. I won't say it was difficult, but it was not easy either. Because of all the men out there, I think I was the only woman who was running the show on my own. And everyone were in a huge group. Every woman was associated with a huge group of men out there. And I had my way of handling things which they were not ready to see eye to eye. See, when this journey started, Mahua, if today on one text of mine on Facebook or Twitter, I have donors pouring in hundreds. That is because of the transparency that I built up all these months. Every single thing, if I receive funds, every single thing hits the wall. So people come up and say, all these days we were doing charity, but we didn't actually know where exactly the money was going across. You're giving so much of transparency, so we are comfortable sending the funds across your way out because we are sure it's going to be taken care of. So it feels nice, whereas the men don't see eye to eye with this, to be very honest. They put their foot down. There are a couple of them who are associated with me, who wanted my support. They said that, why do you want to be this transparent? I feel that if I wasn't this transparent, I wouldn't have been where I am today.
तो शमा हमें बताएं आप जब as a woman, when you, of course, you are a very strong woman and I'm sure life has made you strong, Shama. हम लोग तो कोई birth से तो strong होते नहीं हैं, हमारी जितनी experiences होती हैं, from there you become stronger as a person. Yeah, but do you feel that there is a bias and there's a gender, bias you feel being a woman, especially in the social sector, because there would be times that, you're dealing with also migrant laborers who are men, and also you are of a different faith, and in India, the majority is Hindus. So do you feel that there is a bias sometimes, and does that break your heart? I would really want to know.
Because there was a time I felt Bangalore is one such place where there is no discrimination seen. People even from north, south, or anywhere, they can just come, they are family at Bangalore. And that holds good even for faiths too. Be a Muslim, be a Hindu. And at no stage I was ever made to feel that, oh, you're a Muslim. But sadly, when I stepped out in the slums, and you have in the slums too, you have some heads over there who rule the whole slum.
What do you mean by the heads?
The heads, I think they are more like those dadas or some bullies who
How
are
did
the.
you manage that, Shama?
They came. The guys hadn't eaten. The slum people hadn't eaten for literally 48 hours. When I got to know, I rushed to that site. I hardly had 100 meals in my hand. It was the beginning of my journey. And one man, point blankly, he came and said, "Out from here. You have poisoned the food. Just get lost." I'm being very politically sweet. The way he was rude, I had to open the box. I had a morsel of the food. I tried to convince him that, look, this is not filled with any amount of poison. I'm eating it. Please let these guys have it. And they were so shit scared about him. They all refused to pick the boxes over there. But as soon as I left the premises, I saw the same people, they were running back of my car, asking us to stop. And they, without him looking into it, they collected the boxes and they rushed back. They said, please don't tell him. If not, he's going to make our lives hell.
Oh God, that must be so difficult.
No, I have my mom. The day, God forbid, something happens to her, I'm only accountable to her. I've decided I'm going to change even my name too. As soon as someone hears my name, Shama Sharif, trust me, the response that I get is so pathetic. तो मैंने सोचा है कि मैं हिंदू का नाम कन्वर्ट करके रखूंगी. जब तक मम्मी है, it's not possible. She is going to put the foot down. But I have decided I will do it. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. Because as soon as I see my name, even on Facebook, you should see I'm called an ISIS slut. I'm called.
By whom? By whom? Who calls you an ISIS slut?
We are a couple of liberals. We run a group known as the Indian Liberals. Okay, I'm one of the members over there. So we are too politically, like anything goes wrong, we are not for any party, nothing as such. When we know something is going wrong, we voice it out. Once they see that we are voicing out the facts, the ruling goons, their IT cell, they have a huge trolls over there, Mahua. They really come and attack. I mean, when they come in loads of them. And trust me, we have all faced a huge chaos because of them. I was blocked from Facebook for literally some 3 months without any reason. So many things happened at my household. My daughter was affected with her academics.
What do you mean when you say that?
See, she had got a seat at one of the reputed colleges, and suddenly you get to know that it's no more there in the database. Everything is erased off. It was not a joke. I had to keep things away so that I didn't want my daughter to pay up for me voicing out, me daring to call a spade a spade. In turn, I saw my kid was getting affected. Then there are many people out there, even on Facebook, media, and all this stuff, who have a huge hold on the present going ons, say with the nation or with the riots. It's a very total different world, Mahua. Everything can't be, blurted out.
Do you get help from the police if you ever go to them from the law and order, no?
We get help from the police because I've been in the social services. Because of that, we get help. Because somewhere else we have gone and we have helped them out. Like a friend of mine, he was a person who used to do all the testing for the cops. The COVID tests were carried out across the cops by one of our members.
Okay.
So because of that, we get help. We are not getting help because we are citizens of India. No, not at all. We are getting help from doctors just because we provided them 2 meals per day from past 6 to 7 months. Now it's coming to a stop. We did this because if we build up a goodwill, we were able to help many others out there who really needed the cops and the doctors.
It's an uphill task for you, Shama.
No, it's just not me, Mahua. One thing is, I am very vocal about it. People tell me, why are you so vocal? You need to be a bit diplomatic. भले ही कल चले जाओ, leave an impact. Don't try to be too politically right. Don't try to be too diplomatic just to save your own skin. Because end of the day, I'm not at peace. End of the day, I feel guilty that I knew so much, but I did dare to blurt it out.
What are your current projects right now, Shama?
Current projects as such, right now it is a farmer's Mahua. I think from past 1 month, see, when even the Hindustan Unilever people, they collaborated with the CSR activities. They sent me around about some 10 tons of toiletries. At that moment, the farmers' protest has not started. But luckily, I still had stuff lying with me. And just recently, we sent across 100 boxes of toiletries across to Tikri border. I'm associated with the Khalsa Aid. Then they needed blankets. Then they needed gumboots. And just recently, not even 3 days back, they have come up with the requirement of woolen shawls. And I have a Kuwait chapter, a group of some 29 men, Indians working in Kuwait. And they are now, I think, sending across not less than some 60 to 70K in the favor of the farmers, because they need those waterproof tents, they need the shawls. And you're one of the persons who has funded for one of the tents, not to forget. So right now, farmers are on the strike. We have a couple of gatherings happening around. So we are taken care of the food part. Many other people are involved in it. But right now, my requirement is totally based on what are the farmers needing at the ground site, because they're really struggling with it. I'm happy that I am associated with Khalsa Aid. That is one organization who needs applause for the work they are into. So I feel happy that I'm able to support them in my own little way.
I'm so happy to have you on this podcast today, Shama, because आपके जैसे कितने सारे चिराग हैं जो कभी कभी छुप जाते हैं, you know, and people don't get to know about the kind of good work that you're doing selflessly. So thank you for taking out the time, and you know, you reiterate religion just doesn't matter, you know, and there is nothing called community. It's just one thing called humanity, which sometimes so many of us forget. I am so impressed with the kind of work that you're doing. Thank you so much, and I look forward to having you back again on my show with more work that you do. Thank you, Shama, for taking out the time today.
It was a delight being associated with you. Thank you for having me, Mahua. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Shama.